So it's been a good minute since I did one of these. So I love how I do intros like that. It's one of the greatest things ever. Not really, but you get the idea. First off, excuse me, let me get myself a bottle of water because I've been talking for a little while. Then it's me. I love talking. Okay, here we go. So we got the Thursday night football matchup. Thank God it's not the Tennessee Titans or the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's all I gotta say. So Thursday night football tomorrow night. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at Green Bay in Lambeau take on the Green Bay Packers. To me, this is a must-win scenario for the Eagles. They lose this game, they can most pretty much kiss their season goodbye. And I know you're saying, "Well, Chris, it's only 3 weeks in the season. It's the NFC East. It's the Cowboys." And exactly, the Cowboys are a very good team, and the NFC is pretty much stacked for the most part. I'd say this year with talented teams. The Eagles, they don't seem like they have a soul in them. And trust me, I'm a Red Sox fan. I know what a team looks like when they don't have a soul. By the way, I can't wait for a few days from now. I make a soul 2019 Boston Red Sox recap of the season. The complete failure. But anyways, but hey, at least didn't get eliminated before the Phillies did. Okay, great. Philly fans gonna love me. So anyways, Eagles at Packers. Aaron Rodgers doesn't look that great, in my personal opinion. He's declining, but that Packers defense is good enough, and Aaron Rodgers does look comfortable in that offense. So it's in Lambeau. I'm gonna go with the Packers. So I'm gonna go Green Bay. Then we move on to the Sunday afternoons, the 1 o'clock Eastern games. You got the Tennessee Titans at Atlanta take on the Falcons. The Titans look like garbage. Marcus Mariota's not it. That offensive line ain't it. I know the Titan fans going, "Oh, we're missing Taylor Lewan." Yeah, missing one offensive lineman, Pro Bowler or not, is not the reason why your offensive line should be a good excuse for it to suck. Okay, you have a running back in Derrick Henry who's completely hit or miss. You have freaking Dion Lewis, who I don't know. I know he's older and regressing. I don't know. You just don't feel like throwing the ball to him. You just rather run it with him, which makes no sense to me. Your defense is not terrible, but it's not that great either, and your special team sucks. Okay, and your head coach Mike Vrabel, I loved him on the Patriots, but as a head coach, he's an idiot. So yeah, going into Atlanta, Falcons team, they're kind of hard to predict, but I'm gonna go with the win here. I think they're too good of a team to start the season 1-3, so I think they'll be even at 2-2. So I'm going with Atlanta. Now you got the battle of the 3-0 teams in the AFC East. Something's got to give. New England Patriots go to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Now I know in recent history, well, in the last like 5 years, really, the New England Patriots, anytime they go to Buffalo, the Bills give them quote unquote problems. And I know at times it's been like the score is closer than what it should be. But to me, you could really make a case that either one of these teams, they've both faced kind of easy opponents. I mean, yeah, you could say, well, at least the Patriots faced Ben Roethlisberger for a full game in Week 1. I mean, who the Bills have beaten? Freaking Eli Manning benched, the New York Jets, lol, and then you nearly lost at home to the Cincinnati Bengals. Do I need to go any further with this? Patriots should win this game. I'm not gonna give a final score. I wouldn't be surprised if this difference in points is like 13 or so points or so. But I think Patriots will win. Next, you have the Cleveland Browns at Baltimore take on the Ravens. The Browns, how about that hype train? And I know the Browns still got to face the Bengals twice. Still got to face a Ben Roethlisberger-less Steelers twice, and so on and so forth. But their next few games, including this one, is pretty brutal for them. Freddie Kitchens, their head coach, has no idea what the hell he's doing. Lamar Jackson, I know he's not the most accurate quarterback the world has ever seen, but I do see improvement in him. And this Ravens defense can be legit. And it's at Baltimore, where Cleveland's always had problems with since a dawn of time, basically. So I'm going to go with Baltimore. Next, you got the Kansas City Chiefs on the road take on the Lions. The Lions are the luckiest team in the NFL. This team should be like 0-3. How the hell are they 2-0-1? Oh yeah, because Arizona's an idiot. The Chargers shot themselves in the foot, and Philadelphia's like, hmm. So Kansas City Chiefs, they're not as dangerous on the road as they are at home, but you still got freaking Patrick Mahomes and company, so yeah, they're still dangerous. I know the defense is garbage, but as long as they have Patrick Mahomes, they'll continue to be a threat no matter what. I'm going with Kansas City. Next, you got the Oakland Raiders at Indianapolis take on Jacoby Brissett and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I will say, as a Patriot fan, I am impressed with former Patriot third-string quarterback Jacoby Brissett. I think he's done pretty good for the Colts. Do I think he's a superstar Pro Bowl quarterback? Not really, but he is talented and he can help you win games. And that young Colts team is fired up with that defense, and they got some weapons as well. Of course, T.Y. Hilton, and I've always been a fan of Marlon Mack. Really, the Oakland Raiders, they're not good. They're not a good team. They're not. Their defense stinks. You got freaking Derek Carr, quarterback. I mean, he's not awful, but who the hell is he throwing the football to? So, yeah. I'll go with the Colts. Next, you got the LA Chargers at Miami. I swear to God, if the Chargers lose this game, they need to, like, any Charger fan, Chase Oliver, yeah, any Charger fan needs to contemplate suicide. All right, you lose to a Division two college football team at best in the Miami Dolphins. I don't care if you're on the road. You should smoke these guys. I mean, Melvin Gordon's coming back. Maybe that's why Melvin Gordon's coming back. It's like, oh, my team is 1-2 without me. They're about to go to Miami. I'm coming back, guys. So, I mean, for the most part, it's just basically the Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's gone off. Like, he's had a great year so far. The rest of the team, not so much. But Chargers should win this game. If not, oof. Yes, you got the Washington team, or 0-3. Going to New York to take on the G-Men. I'm not jumping on the Daniel Jones bandwagon like everybody else. I still don't think he's like the greatest quarterback, but obviously he showed potential. Again, I'm not going to overhype him, but a pretty good first start. I'm not going to take that away from the young guy. In Washington, they're god awful. It wasn't for Miami. I'd say Washington's the worst team in the league, so I'm going to go with the Giants. Next, you got the Carolina Panthers at Houston to take on the Texans. I know some people are on this Kyle Allen bandwagon. I don't know if he's going to start. I believe he is. I believe Cam is still banged up and injured. But the Texans, they've played some really close games as of late, and I won't be surprised if this one's any different. This will be a close game as well. But to me, when you're at home, you have Deshaun Watson, you have DeAndre Hopkins, you still got Kenny Stills. You have a pretty good shot at winning. Sure, you have Bill O'Brien, the moron, as your head coach, but at the same time, Houston should win this one with the Texans. Next, got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road in Los Angeles to take on the undefeated 3-0 LA Rams. Now, the Rams remind me of like the Packers, for example. Despite being 3-0, I'm not really that impressed with, along with the 49ers. I'll get to that in a bit. Actually, the 49ers have a bye week. Never mind. Forget that. Scratch that last part. But nevertheless, the Rams, to me, they haven't looked all that impressive being 3-0. I mean, their first win was against Cam Newton. The second one, Drew Brees, last Saints. And then the third one, we barely beat the Browns, who have no idea what the hell they're doing. At least the first 3 weeks of the season. But I think this is the week that they could turn around. I mean, could Tampa upset? Sure. Do I see it happening? No. I'm going to go with the Rams. Next, you got the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Cardinals. Upset alert. You heard it first. I wasn't too thrilled with the Seahawks last week. I mean, you're at home, you're taking on Teddy Bridgewater. Not Teddy Bridgewater's not a scrub. He's not a terrible quarterback, but come on now. When you have a no Drew Brees on the opposing side, you need to take advantage of that, and they just didn't. So, and I know it's more Alvin Kamara, how the hell you want to pronounce his last name. He ran all over them. The Seahawks need to do something about that secondary. They do. Because Kyler Murray might actually look like a freaking Pro Bowl quarterback in this game if he just chugs it up to Larry Fitzgerald. But nevertheless, this game will probably be a lot closer than what some people are going to think. Whenever the Seahawks go to face the Cardinals, trust me, as someone that's lived in Arizona for nearly a decade, I know this matchup. This game's going to be closer than what you guys think, probably. But I'm going to go with Seattle, nevertheless, take the safe pick. Next, you got the Minnesota Vikings on the road in Chicago, take on the Bears. I'm going to go with the Bears on this one. I just think Kirk Cousins, he looked pretty good last week, but good luck at that against the actual good, talented defense at the Bears, unlike the Raiders, who completely suck. So, yeah, I don't know about the Bears. Next, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars at Denver, take on the Broncos. I want to give Minshew Mania brother a chance. And, the guy I could see has the talent. But to me, in Denver, in that vicinity, I'm not a believer in Saxonville is bad. That's just how bad the Tennessee Titans are and how bad their offensive line is. Sorry, B-Mont. But anyways, shout out Cranium Gaming. But nevertheless, I just think with that atmosphere, that elevation, the fact the Broncos are 0-3, I think they're Are they a bad team? Yes, but they do have some talent with guys like Philip Lindsay and company, and that defense should be better. I mean, the fact that the Denver Broncos have been through 3 weeks, this defense does not have a turnover and does not have a sack on the season, and you have a quote-unquote defensive genius as your head coach, that's not a red flag. I don't know what is, but nevertheless, I'm going to be an idiot and pick the Broncos here. So then we got the Sunday Night Football, which should be Dak Prescott versus Drew Brees. But since Drew Brees got hurt in week 2, instead we got Dak Prescott and Teddy Bridgewater. And I like Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not crapping on him because I know people watching this like, oh man, he hates Teddy Bridgewater. I like Teddy Bridgewater. He seemed like a nice guy. And, he's done some decent stuff in the NFL. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm going to be an idiot here. I want to pick the Cowboys, but to me, Sunday Night Football, that place is still going to be a ruckus in New Orleans. Whenever the Cowboys play on Sunday Night Football, things get kind of weird sometimes, and upsets, at least near upsets, usually occur against one America's team. How about them Cowboys? I'm going to pick the Saints in this one. And last but not least, we have the drizzling you-know-what. This game is going to be so bad, I'm actually going to consider watching Monday Night Raw. Freaking Cincinnati Bengals at Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Logic would say I'd pick the Bengals because at least the Bengals, while they suck, they kind of have somewhat of a pulse this year. The Steelers are just complete utter morons who are 0-3, who are low-key rebuilding, but they don't want to say it to their face. And trust me, even when you had Pittsburgh Steelers fans, even if you had a healthy Ben Roethlisberger, best case scenario, you guys would be a 7-9 or 8-8 team. And guess what? You missed the playoffs again for the second straight year. So you should have rebuilt for the last few years. So correct me if I'm wrong, but Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, to my personal opinion, got the last laugh. But nevertheless, I'm still going to pick you guys because lol, it's the Bungles, and lol, it's Andy Dalton in prime time, aka something he can never do, win in prime time. So yes, Mason Rudolph is probably going to get his first career NFL victory here in his, second career start. So yeah, the Steelers. Don't be surprised this game is like 16-13. But anyways, that's it for me. I'm out of breath. Week 4 of the NFL season. Let's see how this goes.